Thank you, Ms. Posey, members of council. You remember about 8 months ago, we were able to initiate a new program in the city for behavioral health coordinator, and you graciously created and funded that position. We were fortunate to have, at that time, Police Sergeant Reggie Parker working with the city. He'd been doing a number of things for a long time, assisting not only our first responders, but people from other jurisdictions as well. Reggie is a product of our tuition reimbursement program. He went and got his master's degree in counseling, became a licensed professional counselor through that program, and we were very proud to be able to move him into that new role. We're about 8 months into it, and we wanted to be able to give you an opportunity to hear what he's doing day to day. He's not only helping a lot of people on a personal level, but he's reaching out and creating very important relationships with other entities around the Birmingham Hoover metro area. So with that, I'd like to ask Reggie to come forward, kind of give you an overview of his activities for the last few months and some of the major categories that he's able to address.
Good afternoon. I just want to give you a couple of statistics that I've had since I began. I actually began before I started on November 1. In October, we had the unfortunate drowning on River Chase Parkway, where I was asked to assist in that incident as far as help with the mental health aspect of it. Post-incident, I did a debriefing with the police department concerning, what was going on as far as mental health-wise, because they are exposed to trauma in a lot of different areas. So I was able to provide that debriefing for them in that incident. Also, I was able to debrief after the shooting incident that occurred in the parking lot of the operation building, which was really traumatic for all of us because we're fortunate that it ended the way it did end. So we talked about that as far as what was going on. What I focus on mainly and is my specialty is trauma. And we talk about trauma in the brain. I explain what that was to them, what it does in the body, what it feels like. We went through those steps. We did a debriefing with that, and we got some positive results out of that debriefing. Also, since I've began, I've had 23 clients that's been in office. Now, some of those are come more than one time, so we've had that. Couple, we've referred out to EAP for not just them, for family as well. So we're working in concert with the EAP as well, so that's working pretty well. We talk about various different things that go on in the lives of our first responders. I have assisted on 3 involuntary committals. That's when we have the mental health situation that police or fire may respond to, and they're deemed mentally incompetent at the time. So what we do is deal with probate. What I've done, I've taken that off of the fire department and the police department's shoulders, and I handle that paperwork, and we deal with those things as far as the committals are concerned. Have helped some citizens as well. When they call the number, officers have given them my number to help deal with those situations as they occur. I have assisted also with a couple of homeless individuals when come through the police department, try to deal with that, and we need to, ramp that up a little bit more, but we have dealt with that, which has been successful so far. I have also been asked, since I've been in this role, to help several different times to teach at the Northeast Alabama Police Academy, also at the Birmingham Police Academy as far as mental health, how it impacts law enforcement. So we've been very fortunate to deal with that. I also spoke at a mental health awareness day for the city of Birmingham, and also spoke at Double Oak Community Church as far as mental health awareness. Some of the things that we want to look at as far as some action step and targets. First week on the job, Chief Durgis graciously invited me in to welcome me in this different role, introduce what we can do, what we can offer, what we can provide for the city, for the first responders. Chief Bentley did the same. We had those conversations. It's been working really, really well. Actually, the rapport's been really good because I've been here for so long that although we still deal with the stigma of mental health, I think me being in the position prior to this one has helped to actually bridge that gap as far as mental health is concerned. So we've been dealing with that. As I just mentioned, I talked to the officers fire department, and our dispatchers too. We don't want to leave them out. As far as the stigma of mental health, we explain that, what that looks like, what that feels like, what resources we have, and I'll talk about that, what my special training is. Those type things we talk through, and we deal with those things. It's been pretty successful thus far. Some of the training that I've done is specialized specifically to trauma. One of the main ones that I had prior to coming in is called TFCBT, which is Trauma-Focused Cognitive Behavior Therapy, which it deals with the body and also what the body feels. And since I've been in the position, I went through the EMDR. It deals mainly with the brain, how the brain processes trauma. So I've been talking with different clients on that and how it works. So I'm still working through the consultation part of it, but that's really going well too. So thankful for getting that training to be able to be more specific in what we're trying to do. Also became trained in right training, which is talk about implicit bias, how to communicate, how to better serve the community. So those are some of the things that's coming online too. So we've been really working hard to try to make sure that this position is something that we can utilize throughout the city. So things have been going really, really well, and I appreciate the support because it's actually taken off more than I thought it would, and I've been busier than I thought it would because people that welcome me with open arms because I didn't know how the guys and the girls and people, the first responders, would actually respond when we talk about mental health because of the stigma. But it's actually been a positive response, and people have showed up more so than I thought they would. So it's very, very encouraging, and that's just some of the things that I've been doing since I've been in this position. And one last thing is we have got the peer support, which most people do. The peer support is they do it, I think, separate. They do police department, fire department, and then they have some dispatchers come on board. I wanted the peer support to be the city of Hoover. So what I've done is I've actually grouped everybody in a group together, explain what the vision is. Because everything's been going on with our golf tournament, baseball tournament, world games and things of that coming up, we haven't had our first meeting with everybody involved. I have met with them separately to tell them what the vision is. But what we have is 10 members of the peer support fire department. We have 12 members from peer support from the police department and 4 members from dispatch. All of the fire department members are already certified. You have to go through, and I'll explain in just a second, through certification before you can actually be a peer support member. Our PD will be, we have 2 PD officers that are certified, and 4 will be certified in July, and the remaining officers will be certified when the elites will come here. They agreed to come here and do our training for us. So I am really looking forward to that. What we operate under is Governor Ivey passed the Peer Support Initiative in 2019, and that's what we operate under. And I have also written that policy for us, so we actually have something, a working policy to go with that. So that's what we have so far, and just appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and you have a question?
President Protein, first of all, let me just say this. And many of us has been any type of supervisory or leadership role in our organization. When an organization rolls something new out, if the leadership does not embrace it, it will fail. And I want to say thank you to the mayor, Alan, our chiefs for embracing that, because they set the tone for their staffing on this is serious. It is a blessing also that Reggie came from the police department, know this community, because as y'all know, you don't talk to folks unless you have somewhat of a trust factor with them. And all that works hand in hand, and I just really appreciated the dedication, not just we're just checking a box, but we're really getting engaged in it, and you can just tell just the passion that Reggie has for this as well, too. So I just want to make that comment.
Thank you. Any other comments before we move on? Okay, we will move on to our consent agenda, and these are items that we discussed in detail during the work session that are housekeeping items in nature. If anybody from the body wishes to have anything from this agenda removed, please say so now. Anyone? Anyone from the public, like any of these removed and taken to the regular agenda? Okay, thank you. Seeing it, no one that wants anything moved, Mr. Corley, please read these items aloud.
Yes, item number 6 is approval of the minutes for the April 28th, 2022 work session, the May 2nd, 2022 meeting, the May 16th, 2022 meeting, and the May 23rd, 2022 special meeting. Item number 7, resolution number 67, 2322, reappoints and appoints members to the Board of Zoning Adjustment, specifically Dan Mykos and Lauren Pratt for a term of 3 years, ending May 31st, 2025, Curtis Jackson for an unexpired term, ending May 31st, 2023, Jack Marshall as a supernumerary member for an unexpired term ending May 31st, 2024, and Rowan Parr for an unexpired term ending May 31st, 2024. Resolution number 672422 authorizes Mayor Brocato to enter into an agreement with the Alabama Department of Transportation for work on Highway 150 and ATI Parkway and Medford Drive for the Barronwood Commercial Subdivision.
Thank you, Mr.
Resolution-
Corley. Entertain a motion.
We've got one
Oh,
more
sorry.
item. Resolution 672622 authorizes acceptance of the bid of Gillespie Construction in the amount of $288,222 for the Maiden Lane Sidewalk Project, bid number 22-008, and authorizes Mayor Brocato to execute an agreement for such.
Okay.
Mr. President, I move for approval of all items on the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion about these items? Okay. All in approval say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Consent agenda has passed. Moving on to resolution number 6725-22, Mr. Corley.
This resolution authorizes Mayor Brocato to enter into a floodplain management program consultation agreement with Shoal Engineering Company, Inc.
Mr. President, I move for approval of resolution number 6725-22.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the body about this item? No, we discussed it in detail on Thursday. Any from the public? Okay. Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Okay. Motion passes. Item number 11, ordinance number 22-2566, Mr. Corley.
This ordinance amends the Hoover Municipal Code to modify Chapter 9 Motor Vehicles and Traffic as set forth in the ordinance. This ordinance will prohibit the stopping, standing, or parking of a vehicle on a sidewalk or any portion of a sidewalk which continues through a public or private driveway.
Mr. President, I move for adoption of ordinance number 22-2566.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Dr. Middlebrooks, do you want to give a short summary of what we did here and why this is back on the agenda?
It's pretty much as Mr. Corley spelled out there, it forbids people from blocking the sidewalks within public or private driveways. Look, it just helps ensure that everyone, regardless of age or ability or station in life, what have you, has access to the sidewalk. You know, we've worked hard to improve the walkability in our city, and this just ensures that everybody has access to that.
Excellent. Any further discussion from the body? Any from the audience? Okay. Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Oh, sorry. It's a roll call. I forgot. Clerk, if you please call the roll.
Mr. Sweeney?
Aye.
Mr. Shaw?
Aye.
Mr. Murphy?
Aye.
Dr. Middlebrooks?
Aye.
Mr. McClinton?
Aye.
Mr. Posey?
Aye. All right, moving on to the first readings, resolution number 6720-22, Mr. Corley.
This resolution grants conditional use approval to allow for church services and Bible studies on the property located at 3829 Lorna Road, Suite 320, Hoover, Alabama, with the conditions attached as Exhibit 2 to the resolution.
And this is set for a public hearing on June 20th, where we will talk more in detail with Mr. Martin. Okay, item number 13, resolution number 6721-22, Mr. Corley.
This resolution grants conditional use approval to allow for a new one-story, 10-classroom addition to the property located at 569 Park Avenue, Hoover, Alabama, with the conditions attached as Exhibit 2 to the resolution.
We'll have a presentation from Mr. Martin on that as well on the 20th. Item number 14, resolution number 6722-22.
This resolution grants conditional use approval to allow for installation of a new pickup window on the southeast side for the property located at 2312 John Hawkins Parkway, Hoover, Alabama, with the condition attached as Exhibit 2 to the resolution.
It's Mr. Martin as well. You're going to be very busy during that meeting, sir. Okay, and then ordinance number 22-2567.
This ordinance provides for certain improvements to drainage areas on property in the area to the south of Lorna Road at the intersection of Highway 31 in the city of Hoover, Alabama, and schedules a public hearing on July 18th, 2022 at 6 p.m. at City Hall to hear any objections to the proposed improvements, the manner of making the improvements, or the character of the materials to be used.
And you'll have that information for us at that time. Correct. Sir. Okay, and finally, ordinance number 22-2568.
This ordinance authorizes the lease of unneeded municipal real property in the city of Hoover, Alabama, as provided for in the ordinance consisting of office space at the Hoover Public Safety Center for a period of 5 years, ending on July 31st, 2027.
All right, and all of that will be at the next meeting on June 20th. Now it's time for public comment, and I'll start with the council, and I'd like to start by saying that my family's here, my mom and dad, my daughter, my wife, and my son all came because John never misses a meeting, and this may never happen again, so I'm glad y'all came to see this, even though I kind of stumbled all over myself during the entire meeting. Anyone else?
Yes, Mr. Posey, I would commend you on a well-run, efficient meeting, except that would add to the meeting, and I know we're scored on that, so.
Trying to, yeah, that's right.
But good job, Councilman.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else from the body? Okay, any members of the public? None? All right, well, with that, we are adjourned.